Is this thing on? Is this thing on? In Turmoil. In the third movie in Twilight Eclipse, we have Bella Swan kisses Jacob Black under suspicious circumstances. The kiss occurs during a moment of confusion and emotional turmoil. To provide context, this video is gonna answer why did Bella kiss Jacob in Eclipse. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that intro in there, but what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we have a new series starting on the channel. It is Why video. I have a question, then I'm gonna answer it with a little bit of context and a little bit of what I think, a little bits sprinkled in there. So let's get started, shall we? So, point number 1, we have confusion and emotional turmoil. In Eclipse, Bella is struggling with her feelings for Edward, Cullen, and Jacob Black. She is torn between her love for Edward and her deep friendship with Jacob. The emotional tension increases as the vampire Victoria processes a threat to Bella's life, leading to heightened and stress and uncertainty. So they're up in the mountain and they have the night to go through, and in the morning we all know that Jacob hears Bella and Edward talking.
You're marrying him?
Jake,
and they go for the kiss. So I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later.
Jacob, kiss me.
But for point number 2, manipulation by Jacob. So Jacob, who is a werewolf, has a strong feelings for Bella and takes advantages of her emotional and vulnerability. He believes that he has a chance with Bella and tries to convince her that a life with him would be safer and more enjoyable than a life with vampires. He's got a point there. Jacob does have a point. His attempt to win Bella's heart with a significant plot in Eclipse. So he manipulates her and all of that crazy stuff. So I'm gonna continue just going through my points and we're gonna talk about it as we get there. So we have memory confusion for Bella. During a particularly tense moment between Jacob and Bella, Bella catches up with her emotions, mentally confused, and responds with a kiss. However, it's critical note that that kiss doesn't change her deep love for Edward. Okay, so she does the kiss, and I think it's just to probably just to shut him up and to calm him down before battle. We're gonna discuss that in a little bit. So for the next point, we have love triangle dynamics. The love triangle between Bella, Edward, and Jacob is a central theme in the Twilight series, and the kiss in Eclipse pans as a crucial spot in the story. So those are the few bulletins I had written down, but this next point is what my understanding is and what I believe he had. Number 5, we have it was Jacob's plan all along. So was it Jacob's plan all along? Jacob knew he couldn't have a chance with Bella. However, it just doesn't add up in the movies, in the books, or anywhere in the lore that Jacob would end up with Bella. Jacob has no chance to be with Bella because it just doesn't happen. So what's the next best case of scenario Jacob can do? He tries, okay, I got so close to getting her to kiss me in New Moon before that prick Edward called. And earlier on in the movie, he got a quick little smooch, but Bella got a broken hand to deal with it. So, what is the next best thing he could do is he can manipulate her into kissing him. I get it. It's a dirty move for Jacob to do. But when your back is against the wall, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So I get it. Jacob was upset. Jacob was confused.
Why? Give me one good reason.
He got tricked into listening to a conversation that he had no intention into listening to.
You're marrying him?
In that morning, Edward, he called Jacob aside. He's like, look, me and Bella are gonna have a conversation. This is, so just stick around the tree. We have something going on and I want you to hear what we have to do. And this is where my next point is the blame. So Edward is part to blame. So I feel like Edward has the part to blame where Bella kissed Jacob in Eclipse. The way I see it, he wanted Jacob to know that he was gonna marry Bella. So what did he do? He had Jacob hide around the corner and to wait until Edward got what he wanted. I guess this was revenge for the night before that Jacob found out about the marriage. But the way that I see it, Edward had it coming. And guess what? It blew up in his face, baby. It blew up in his face. So, however, I can't help myself but to blame Edward for the kiss. As for Jacob, how do you think he would react? As if that was me, I would have tried and done the exact same thing as Jacob. I know that's a little bit crazy, that's a little bit dirty, but he did manipulate Bella into kissing him in that part because he was threatening himself. He was gonna go get himself killed in the battle.
Maybe I'll get myself killed and make it simple for you.
No, just Jake, stay.
And I feel like Jacob had Mother Nature and his surroundings on his side. Yeah, he was on the edge of a cliff. He knew that he had like the edge of the vulnerability on his side. He knew this is the only way that I could get to Bella. And if that was me, I would have done the exact same thing. I feel like everybody has to take the blame of the circumstances as to what happened. Edward, he got bit in the ass when he hid the truth from Jacob and he paid for it, knowing that Jacob kissed his girl. I kind of wish he watched it, but they didn't do it that way. But Bella is part to blame as well because, of course, Bella shares part of the blame. That's not what I'm trying to get at. I just feel like people are too quick to place the whole blame on her. Again, I'm not saying she's blameless because we all know she isn't. She's engaged. She shouldn't be asking another guy to kiss her when her fiance isn't even that far away. She basically cheated. She is wrong in that aspect. However, it seems as we are quick to overlook the fact that the moment she was a victim of emotional blackmail contrast of Jacob Black. Jacob knew she cared for him. He knew she was frantic. He just knew that she would do anything possible to save him. And he played into it. He played with her emotions. He emotionally blackmailed her when she was on the vulnerable side. So that's a lot to take in. So what my point is, Edward, Jacob, or Bella, none of them are innocent. All of them share parts of the blame. So please don't jump into blaming Bella. Yes, she's wrong, but she's a victim. That's something in Eclipse you can completely side or agree with anyone, because nobody is innocent. That's not even this could be a theory, but I'm not gonna call this video a theory. This is a why video. So I think that everyone was to blame Edward, Jacob, and unfortunately Bella is the one to blame. They all share the same circle. So what we can do is, as Twilight fans of this series and of these characters and of these movies and the books, is to forgive them as to what happened that fateful moment. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. I'm gonna catch you guys with a quick out, but please like, subscribe, all of that crazy stuff. And here's one thing I didn't talk about, but as for me, I feel like Jacob deserved that kiss. He knew, I said this in earlier parts, he knew he was never gonna get the girl.